Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of me, MrEnvelope, playing Minecraft on my supporter server. So I've been trying to plan out how I want this area to look. I want it to mostly just be like my base area, but I also want it to feel like a small little town. And the buildings that are going to make up this town are mostly just going to be like shops. Shops and places where people work, I guess. And one of the production buildings in this little town, I guess, is going to be like a bee farm. We're going to be making some wax and honey. And I thought I was going to just set up the farm to have it running for now, but I think I want to go ahead and have the whole building built. So how this farm works is very similar to my single player world farm. Where this log is, it's going to be the bee nest, and every time it gets full of honey, this observer will read that, send a pulse all the way down over here to this dispenser, which will have either shears or a bottle, the bottles of honey, or honeycomb will go here, where we'll have tilled soil with flowers on it, and there'll be hoppers underneath that, and it'll pick everything up. So it's gonna work. It's gonna work. It's gonna do its job, and hopefully it's gonna look good. I need to harvest a few materials, but then we'll go ahead and get started with building this like bee barn farm that I'm trying to go for. So yeah, let's do that really quick. Before we get started with the bee farm, I wanted to show you guys this. I'm trying to farm up some beehives because I'm using them for part of the farm block palette. And even though beehives are seemingly very, very common, I still need a whole bunch more. I need like 33, I think was the amount. So I found this video by CheeseDud6, who went over this very easy to follow guide on how to farm bee nests. So there's a chance that bee nests will generate with the tree that grows, but there has to be flowers around. And he's come up with like this really easy to follow guide on how to get like the right amount of flowers to sapling placement. And it's actually very helpful because I already got one, we just got another, and I think there's one more hive around here. Yeah. So this actually works very well. So I'll have a video card up in the right hand corner going to that video if you're interested and need to farm up beehives yourself. But with that, now let's go ahead and build the bee barn. Okay, and there we go. That's the bee farm. The bee barn farm. It's done. I finished it. I think it came out pretty good. I'm not like crazy about the roof, but I think it's kind of interesting. And the inside is my favorite part. I like being able to see the bees just like fly around. I like how it kind of almost looks like a trellis is up in there, but yeah, I think it's pretty cool. And I like that we can walk through it. It works. That's another great part. The farm has actually been up and running for a long time. As you can kind of see around me, we got all kinds of things going on here. And because of that, we actually have tons of honeycomb already farmed up. So I want to actually go make a shop for this stuff. That was the whole original plan with this. Make the farm and then make the shop. And yeah, I want to go make the shop, and I'm totally down to. I have the building already planned out, but I'd like there to be like a whole shopping area in Spawn. And at the moment, Spawn looks pretty much the same as when we left it. We only have a couple shops in Spawn Town. There's Timmy's shop over there, the square building, and Trent's nether portal shop. And I have a plan to turn this whole area right here into like a big old shopping hub. And I want to be able to put not just my honey shop, but have other shops there too. Activity on the server has died a little bit, but I do still think it'd be pretty fun to build a shopping center like that. And I'm really excited to get started on the one I have planned out. But before we do that, I wanted to show off a couple things that I've been doing. So I built this little flower patch right here, and I liked it so much that I built a second one right next to it. And the reason for these two flower patches is I really wanted to have a place to store like my foliage and my flowers and my plants. So I built this flower shop. But of course, these shops aren't run by anybody. These are just a place where I decorate my base with. But you can see inside, I went kind of nuts. We have only these three. Okay, we only have like a couple storage spots for plants, but everything else is pretty much here just to look pretty. I think this came out pretty nice. It's very green and lush inside of here. Like the person who lives here is a little too crazy for plants, but I really like the build. And there's a nice pathway coming out at the top level, so it'll come down, reach around here, and yeah, I still haven't planned out like this area. The whole base hasn't expanded too much, but this has been done for a bit. And I want to expand a bit more out that way. so we can put our cows over there so I can clean this mess up. And because it's been so long since I recorded an episode, I've had this Christmas gift sitting here for the longest time. It's from Trent. He gave me 2 diamond blocks, a pair of socks, and a netherite ingot. I really want to use the ingot, but I want to go get elytra first, and I don't want to put netherite on any of my things and then risk dying in the end. So I'm going to go get my elytra first, and then I'm going to, get my gear finally fixed up. So let's go do that real quick. Luckily, Trent's already fought the dragon, so everything should be safe and clear over there. I think I have everything I need for some end city exploration. I think we should be fine. I just gotta make my way to the end and hope I get lucky right away. Get out. Okay. Set my spawn here. Let's go. Oh, so it looks like, wow, that's a lot of cities. Each one of those dots represents a whole city, or is this like one city? That's ridiculous. Okay, I didn't bring any maps to keep track of where I've been, so hopefully that doesn't bother anybody. But I'm gonna go and try to do this. Hopefully, I hope I don't die. I should put the stuff I'm not gonna use away. Woohoo! That's the best thing to see when you're out looking for ships. Just the ship, nothing else. Oh, that's awesome. That didn't take too long. I do realize now, though, that I forgot to bring rockets, because once you get elytra, it's much better to just fly around, looking for more cities and stuff. This one looks pretty big, too, so it looks like we're going to get a decent amount of shulkers as well. Okay. And there we go, our first elytra. Oh, and a nice pick. And a little bit of resources. Very nice. 43 shells is pretty good, but I'm going to be greedy and look for a bit more. I'm going to also clean up this inventory a little bit, use these shulker boxes that I bought from Trent, and I'm going to put this stuff away so I don't lose it. And there we go. We're looking pretty good. It almost looks like I'm wearing the elytra with straps, but that's from the backpack with the essentials mod. I am going to go ahead and look for maybe 1 or 2 more cities, and I'm going to try to get my way back home. So I'll meet you guys back. Hopefully I'll be a little more geared out. It feels much better to have elytra and tons of shulkers. And we're going to go ahead and grab this netherite, and we're going to grab some that I've already collected. I only have these 4 ingots. I was going to go ahead and do my armor because I thought that would be pretty important, but I think we're going to do the tools instead because I have a really big project for next episode, and I want to be able to not have to come back and repair these as often. So we're going to go with tools first, and then maybe I'll go mining in the nether to get more netherite in the future. And the last thing we're going to do for this episode is we're going to do some decorating. We're going to do some decorating at the mob farm because I've been using this place a lot. Usually when I'm like doing other stuff, I'll just AFK here, but we have this skull over here. It's a little hard to tell, but it's supposed to be a skull based off of the design from Breath of the Wild, where mob camps would happen or be in the world. There'd be these structures everywhere, and there'd be mobs inside, and you'd sometimes find loot in there or just mobs, pretty much. But this is the entrance to my mob farm. I've already cleared out all the space. I've already collected all the materials that we'll need to decorate this place. And I want to go ahead and make this place look a little fancier because I'm not really digging the cave and the stone. I also have a villager that I cured down over here to get rid of all my rotten flesh. So yeah, let's go ahead and make like a proper place for this guy. There we go. Okay, now we're pretty much done. There's still like a few things that we gotta do. Like I gotta make some shulker boxes because we're gonna be putting those. We're making a few of the storage bits shulker boxes. We'll put a white one there. So my plan is to have item filters. We have hoppers over here to collect all the drops. They're gonna go to a small item elevator in the back, go through a little sorting system, and then all the mob drops will get sorted here. And I moved the villager up here too, so we'll be able to trade with him whenever we want. I might get a second one over here, but I tried to make his living arrangements a little more nicer. And overall, I think like this whole project came out pretty good. I kind of threw this together like last minute, so it's not like the best thing, and I'm probably not going to be using this once we get a Enderman farm set up. But it's nice to have another project nice and cleaned up and, you know, looking sharp for whenever we do decide to come down here. I kind of thought I was going a bit overboard with the red, but I think for the most part it's looking pretty good. Oh, and there's one more thing I wanted to do. We need to have a clock right here, so we know what time it is every time we leave. I do get a little worried every time I go back up and it's nighttime. I don't want to blow anything up on my way to the house, so hopefully this will help us not let that happen. But yeah, this is our mob farm, and I gotta say, I really like it. I like how it came out. And with that, guys, that is going to be it for this episode. So thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you thought of the projects that we did today. I know this episode was a little short, but you know, we got a lot of stuff done. We got our wings, we got our bee farm going, and our next episode is going to be really crazy too. We're going to have a whole bunch of builds and stuff going. It's going to be wild. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want to see more. I'm MrEnvelope, and I'll see you guys in the next one on my Patreon SMP server thing. Bye-bye.